Hey Kalthoff, and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you how to create poppers. So this is the popper that we're going to recreate today, and then you'll notice it also has an adorable tag. It says Merriest Wishes on here, and that's from our Merriest Wishes bundle. So I'll be sharing with you the information about that as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the paper that we're going to use. We are going to use This Christmas 12 by 12 specialty paper. It's in our regular catalog, and it's a little bit more of a text weight paper, which is great for poppers because we are going to be using our envelope punch board. And we can double up our folds so that it will go even quicker and easier for us. So again, this is the paper, and you actually get 24 sheets in one pack, which is a very good value for your money. And so the paper that we're going to need is 4.5 inches by 6 inches, and we're going to score on the short side. So let me get the score tool into the picture. This is our Simply Scored scoring tool. And we are just going to go ahead and score this. So we're going to score it at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's two ends to your stylus. There's a skinnier end, which is great for cardstock, and then there's a little bit fatter end on your stylus, and that's what you want to use on your designer series paper, especially this thinner designer series paper, because then there's less chance of it possibly going through the paper. So again, we're just scoring along at 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the short side, which is 4.5 inches wide. And then this is 6 inches long. So now we're going to make the tube for our popper. The first thing that we need to do is do all the folding. So we're just going to fold along all of those score lines that we just made. And then we're going to use a little fast fuse on that 1/2 inch flap, and that's what is going to be folded in to create the popper. So I'm going to put some fast fuse on this edge right here. That's the 1/2 inch edge, and then I'll fold this in, and then I can just take this flap over here and fold that over. And we have the tube for our popper. So our popper looks like this, and now we just need to make those little gatherings on the edge. So to do those little gatherings, we are going to bring in the envelope punch board. This is what the Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board looks like. Now all the directions to make envelopes are actually right on the punch board. You just follow right along. You determine what size your card is and the paper size that you need and the scores that you need to make. And there's actually a score line right here, and the tool for scoring stores right in the envelope punch board. But we're not actually going to use it to make envelopes today. We're going to use it to make our popper. So because we have this nice lightweight designer series paper, we're just going to press it straight down, and we are going to bring it up to the 1 inch mark, and then we're going to do a press on the punch. So we just had our first little place here in the popper, and so we're going to go ahead, flip that over, and press it again. And then we're going to fold the box, or fold this little tube the other way, and do it again. So we're just going to keep working this all along, bringing it up to the 1 inch mark, and making our punches. All right, so we have one side done, and now we're just going to go ahead and do the other side the exact same way. So again, we just fold our tube nice and flat, and we make our 1 inch punch outs. And now we have our popper, and it's ready to go. All we have to do is add some twine. Of course, you'd want to put your treat in here, but I'm going to put my treat in at a later date when I know exactly what I want to put in there. So for now, I'm just going to get my linen thread, and I'm going to tie off these edges. So I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. And as I squeeze it in, look at that. It just turns into this cute little popper. So we're going to tie this off, and then I'm going to tie it into a bow. And the nice thing about tying it into a bow is then I can just open up that bow at a later time and put whatever I want on the inside. So we'll go ahead and bring this in. I'm going to use my scissors here just to trim this off. And then we can do the same thing to the other side. But before I tie up the other side, I want to go ahead and make my tag. because I can actually tie this tag right into the bow, as you can see here. So let's talk a little bit about the tag that we're going to create. We are using the Merriest Wishes stamp set, which can be bundled with the Merry Tags framelits. And I always think that buying a bundle is a good deal because you save 10%. So I have one of the tags out because it's already set up here. What we want to do is we want to just have a piece of black scrap, and then I find that if I use a little bit of wax paper, I get a little bit better results with this particular tag. It's kind of like a reef tag, so there's a lot of little details in there. So we're going to flip that over, and I'm going to bring my Big Shot into the picture. So here's the Big Shot machine, and what I'm going to do first is put down my magnetic platform. Then I'm going to use my precision plate over the top of that. And then I have my really dedicated cut plate. As you can see, there's a big, it's very warped. That's fine, because anytime you are working with your precision plate, you want to set aside one cutting plate that you can go ahead and let it be all warped. It'll still work. So then we're going to put our basic black paper down, and we're going to put our wax paper down, and then we're going to put our die over the top of that. We're going to take this kind of bowed out cut plate, put that right over the top, and then we can just run it through. And I like to run it through once and then back it up. And then I will take it out, and let me set this Big Shot aside. Then what I like to do is I'll bring my die brush into the picture, which is just in a wood mount stamp case. And I can go ahead and, using my die brush, I can just rub along the back here, and that will take out quite a few of the little chads. And there it is. You can see how easily that comes out when you're using the wax paper, and then the rest of it just all kind of falls away. And so then I have one here that's already prepped. I've gone ahead and I've taken out the little tiny pieces that I used a paper piercer to take out, that very last finishing touch. And now what we're going to do is a little bit of stamping, not very much, but I have a piece of crumb cake paper here, just a little scrap, and I'm going to take some crumb cake ink. One of the things that really attracted me to this stamp set are all these little dots falling down like a little tiny mini snowstorm. And so I'm going to ink up all of those falling dots in crumb cake and stamp it on crumb cake. And then I'm going to take my Merriest Wishes, and I'm going to use Stays on Black ink, and that will really pop then on the crumb cake. So I'm just going to ink that up, and we're just going to stamp this right here in the middle of all of those dots, just like so. Then I have a 1 3/8 inch circle punch, so I can just put this in, kind of make sure that's centered, and give that a good punch out. And then we're going to center this right on top of this black tag. So let me get a dimensional. We only need one little dimensional in the center of this tag, and then we can set our sentiment right onto that dimensional. And our tag is ready to go. And now all we need to do is add a little bit of twine to that tag. So let me get my twine again. This is our wonderful linen thread, and I'm just going to string this through. And I suppose maybe about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches here. And then I want to do just one tie around. So here's my one tie around. Then I'm going to take my thread, and I'm going to make a knot here at the end. And so let me do that real quickly. And there it is. So now I can just trim this edge away. And now we have a cute little tag ready to be tied into our popper box. So let me get some more linen thread. And again, we're going to wrap this around 3 times. And as we do, you can see that just pulls that popper together perfectly. So let me take this off here. And then we just have to tie this into a bow. So I'm going to do one tie around, then I'm going to grab this tag, and we're going to add this thread through here so that our tag is actually attached to our tie-on. And so now we'll make our bow. And we'll trim off our little excess. And we have an adorable tag attached to our popper. So here is the popper I've just created for you. Here is the popper I had done in advance. And I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and how quickly and easily you can make poppers too. And then of course, stay tuned because on Thursday I'm going to be sharing with you how to create this card that coordinates with this popper. So have a great day. I truly appreciate you. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order, please be sure to visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and there's links there that will take you to my online store. Have a great day. Bye-bye.